Most of us are bombarded with dozens of attorney advertisements on a daily basis, but how do you know which ones that you can trust? I'm Miranda Kahn, and you're watching WPTV's Ask the Attorney web chat. And joining me today is Todd Fraunrath, a partner at the personal injury law firm of Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivey, and Fraunrath. And Todd, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, today's topic, very important one. What should we look for when hiring an attorney? What are some of the qualifications that the people watching should look for when they look into hiring an attorney?
Well, there are a lot of things that you should focus on. One of the main areas that someone should focus on is looking into the trial experience that the lawyer has. Somebody that has a vast amount of experience dealing with juries and jury trials and injury cases. Another thing that's very important is to look into the results that the lawyer has obtained for their client in jury trials. Also, you want to find a firm that has vast amount of resources to take a case and litigate it all the way from the very beginning all the way through a jury trial if necessary. Litigation gets very expensive in many cases, and it's very important that you have the funds to match the funds of the insurance company defending the case.
Now, you mentioned experience. How can someone look into someone's experience or background?
Usually most lawyers and law firms nowadays have websites, and the internet is a good place to start.
Right.
If you look at the websites for various law firms and lawyers, most of them have biographical information on there, and included in that information should be information about the lawyer's trial record, some of their results, some of the things that that they've done well in their career, hopefully. And also you can look at the Florida Bar website, and that lists any kind of...
I was going to ask you, is there like a third party though? Right.
Sure,
okay.
Sure. You can go to the Florida Bar website, and that will basically give a little more biographical information about a particular lawyer, and it will also give information about a discipline history of a particular lawyer if he or she has one.
Now, I understand that attorneys have certain rules that he or she must follow when it comes to contacting a person after he or she's been involved in an accident. Can you explain what those rules are?
Sure. The main rule deals with direct solicitation. That's something that is frowned upon by the Florida Bar. It's a direct ethical conflict and problem if a lawyer contacts somebody within that 30-day window and tries to solicit their case.
Meaning, I think the popular term is the ambulance chaser, right?
Sure, yeah, you could use that term definitely, because some unscrupulous lawyers or law firms engage in that practice regularly, and it's something that needs to be reported to the Florida Bar.
Now, is that a red flag for someone?
It is a red flag, simply because if the lawyer is starting off the relationship with the client by violating ethical rules, that's a lawyer or law firm that you do not want to be involved in. And if that does happen, we would certainly encourage the client or the injured party to write down the information of the lawyer that solicited them and report them to the Florida Bar.
Now, is there a difference if someone is visiting you at the hospital versus sending you a letter in the mail?
Yes. I mean, if somebody's visiting you in the hospital, hopefully it's a situation where that person knows the injured party or is a family member, but to contact an injured party that you don't know within that 30-day window simply to try to get some kind of business relationship going is something that's improper.
Now, we talked about rules, we talked about guidelines, ethics, reputation. How can a case be affected if a person hires a law firm, let's say with a bad reputation? How much of an impact is that going to make?
It can be a very significant factor, simply because insurance companies are the ultimate people that evaluate cases.
Right.
When evaluating a case, the insurance company is going to also look at the legal representation involved. If a lawyer with excellent trial skills, excellent results, is on the side of the plaintiff in a case, the insurance company is going to be much more inclined to pay a fair value for that claim to settle the claim.
Right.
If the lawyer representing the injured victim is one who doesn't have trial experience, who has typical poor results in trial, the insurance company is not going to have an incentive to settle that case for fair value, simply because they will want to try to keep the inexperienced or poor lawyer's feet to the fire, and it's a detriment to the client.
A lot of people might be afraid of hiring an attorney, especially you know, an attorney that's with a larger firm such as yourself. Is it expensive to hire an attorney with a larger firm?
It is not. It really doesn't matter what size the firm is.
Right.
The initial consultation is always free. And then if we do decide to take your case and represent the injured party, there's never any charge, no costs, no fees, unless we make a recovery for you.
Okay. Any other words of wisdom that you can share with us? Any red flags or just...
Nothing except just do your due diligence. Typically, when you get involved in a situation where there's litigation, you only have one day in court, so it's extremely, extremely important that you choose the proper lawyer for you and your case.
Todd, thanks so much. That's all the time we have for questions today. Appreciate having you.
Thank you.
And we'll have an attorney from Lytle, Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Frond Rath here every month answering the questions you submit online. So make sure to get those questions in. And thank you for joining us. See you next time.